right? Yeah.
Oh, here he goes.
Well, we're on an island. There's ships all over. Welcome, one and all. This is a special meeting of council, 5 o'clock on the 18th. Press and public are duly notified, although they've chosen to enjoy the spring weather that we've finally had arrive, so hopefully it stays with us for a while. Next item on our agenda is I'd like to introduce Bill Taylor. Bill comes to us all the way from Columbia, although he's around here frequently. This is your second time in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
He's the field service manager, one of the two of you now, right?
There's two of us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He worries about a lot of us in this part of the world. So
Absolutely.
why don't you talk to us about what's going on?
Okay. Linda had asked me to come and just kind of remind y'all about our organization, the Municipal Association of South Carolina. We were scheduled to come in January after your new council members were elected, and usually it's a good segue to inform them about what we are and what we're all about and how to use us as a resource. We got delayed because of the wintry weather, and some of you have since attended the HLAD, the Hometown Legislative Day in Columbia, and we were glad to see y'all there. But I just wanted, for the newcomers and the senior members of council, I just want to remind y'all go through a little history of the Municipal Association, tell you a little bit about what we're doing and how to use us. This organization was founded back in 1939, and the whole principle behind that was municipalities felt like joining together, they could approach the General Assembly on issues that were important collectively better than they could alone. And so with that, the Municipal Association was formed. We began looking at legislative issues and have been doing that since. We're a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization. Currently consists of 47 employees. We're governed by an 18-member board, of which your esteemed mayor is serving as a representative from the Berkeley, Charleston, Dorchester COG region. We have 10 members from each of the COG regions, and we have 3 at-large seats, and then we have 5 members on our executive board. One of the members, one of the at-large seats is held by one of the town administrators, and we're always glad to have a city manager on board. I know Linda and I have looked at the Municipal Association sometime in the past about the lack of representation and the need for some of the management folks, and we're glad to have those people on board. Over the last 10 years, we have kind of divided up our organization into what we call 3 divisions, and they're called, and I'll go into each, our shared voices, shared knowledge, and shared solutions. And really our shared voices consist of our legislative and communication side. And on your desk, you see our legislative priorities that were adopted by the board for the upcoming year with the General Assembly. But we have a team of legislative lobbyists who are over on the ground every day that the General Assembly is open, trying to deal and reason with those folks, and we're also trying to make sure that any bill that comes before the floor that would impact any municipality is brought to the attention of you folks. And so oftentimes you or Linda or others may get a call from Casey Fields in our office asking you to contact a member of a Senate subcommittee or House subcommittee about an issue that might come before them that week. And so we certainly ask you to continue to be in touch with your legislative delegation about those issues that matter to y'all. Over the last few years, we have developed a real nice legislative tracking and monitoring guide on our website. So you can currently track any of the bills that are currently being considered by the General Assembly on our website. We ask that you take a look at that. It's a great way to stay abreast of what's there and what's coming, the current status. And if you want copies or need more information about any of that, feel free to give us a call. One of the other parts of this division is our regional advocacy meetings. As you know, every year in the fall, we typically hold a regional advocacy meeting in each of the 10 COG regions around the state to just listen to y'all about what are the issues that y'all are seeing that could be perhaps solved or addressed at the General Assembly. We compile all of this information, we take it to the mayor and the other board members, and we talk about those legislative issues that are important. And so we typically come up with a legislative priority that is eventually adopted by the board. But it's always a good way to hear from you about issues that are important in your community. And certainly I've seen, as far as representing the coastal regions, that there are some unique issues that you face that a lot of people don't face in the rest of the state. And so we like to be mindful of that, and we want to make sure that the General Assembly stays abreast of that. Most of you should be getting on your email daily news of events that are taking place around the state. Typically, we pull news articles from all the newspapers across the state relating to any municipality and some of the things that are going on. But it's a good way to keep abreast of some of the things that are going on in your sister cities across the state. One of the other things is we just completed our hometown legislative day, which was in Columbia. We have this typically in the early February every year. Gives us an opportunity, usually the first month into the General Assembly, to gather the delegates from across the state and talk about the legislative priorities and then give you an opportunity to go visit your legislative delegation at the State House. So it's always been an important meeting, and I think the General Assembly can be overwhelmed at times because of the numbers that we show in force, and that's what we like to see. We like to let them know that we're there and that we're concerned about things that they are facing and things that you're facing, such as the local government fund and other revenue sources and mandates, that sort of thing. All of you, I know, receive our monthly newsletter, the Uptown magazine. We typically focus on a key issue for that month, and then we try and update you on calendar activities and other topics that are of interest to you throughout the month. And over the last 2 years, we've actually gone into the social media. We're now found on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and just in the last 2 weeks, we started a blog called City Connect blog. So I hope that you have looked at some of these and continue to follow. But this is an opportunity for us to reach out as much as we can to let people know what's going on. Now, the other division, and this is where my division, my work falls under, is the shared knowledge. This is kind of the training and our networking side of the association. We have 11 affiliate organizations that fall within the umbrella of the Municipal Association. One is the Association of South Carolina Mayors, which Mayor Cronin is also the new president. We have a Municipal Court Administration, Municipal Technology Association, South Carolina Association of Municipal Power Systems, which represents the 21 electric cities across the state, the Association of Stormwater Managers, Business Licensing Officials, Municipal Attorneys Association, Municipal Finance Officers and Clerk Treasurers, Human Resources, and Utility Billing. Over the years, earlier, our focus was just on elected officials, but we soon found that we really need to reach out to the staff. We need to reach out to those other disciplines so that we are up to date with as much information as possible so everybody's in the loop. So these affiliate groups have been working very hard, and we have several really neat training opportunities scheduled throughout the year. We also have 5 training institutes that take place throughout the year. One is the Municipal Elected Officials Institute, which we had as part of the Hometown Legislative Day, but we also have 3 other sessions throughout the year. And for the first time, and I think Jimmy was talking about the Public Safety Advanced MEO class, we also had an Advanced Economic Development class for the elected officials, which was well attended, and we certainly hope that you will take advantage of these opportunities as they come along. We also have a Municipal Clerks and Treasurers Institute, the local government management training, which is typically geared toward the newer city and county managers or assistants, those who are kind of getting into the field, and we kind of coordinate that with the Institute of Government over at USC. And then we also have a training institute which is geared toward the required training for the local government planning and zoning commissions. This division is also responsible for planning and conducting the annual meeting, which is typically in the summertime. This year it will be just across the river down in Charleston. The field services, that's my division, where Jeff Shackelford, who is the former city manager of Newberry. I'm former administrator for the town of Sherall. I cover 26 counties and 154 municipalities, basically from Chesterfield County down through Kershaw to Aiken County and to the coast. So my job and Jeff's job is to be out there, be responsive to you folks, any calls, provide technical assistance. We do some strategic planning, meeting, that sort of thing. We have two other former city managers in our organization, so anytime we get a call that we're not real sure about, we typically group together and make sure that we're looking at it the same way and that we're all in agreement. So I want you to feel free to give us a call anytime you have any questions, no matter how minor you think they are. It's important for us. I've always told council members I would rather you call us and say, what do you think? We're thinking about doing this at the next council meeting. What do you think? Rather than call me and say, we passed this last week. We're starting to get some heat, that sort of thing. So, but it's a great opportunity for us to continue to reach out and provide technical assistance to you folks. We also maintain our website. I hope that you'll take advantage of our website. We manage that. We try and keep that as up to date as possible and provide new information about our calendar and our training opportunities and that sort of stuff. The other thing, we're still actually printing documents and publications. We had a survey last year about should we curtail the type of publications that we're actually printing. So many people still want to have that in hand when they look at it. So we're still publishing a number of publications that are important for y'all. I think all of you have gotten your municipal handbook, which we consider our Bible. At least I do. I always refer to it just about daily when I get questions. But there's a host of publications. You can go on our website and look at those and order some if you want. The final division that we have is what we call the shared solutions, and this is really our collections and insurance programs. We got into collections a number of years ago, and we're basically collecting. We're working with contracts to collect delinquent debts and certain other business taxes, business license tax, such as the broker's tax collection program, where we receive and distribute the municipal broker's premium tax that's collected by the State Department of Insurance, and we redistribute it to the municipalities across the state. Our insurance tax collection basically collects business license taxes that are owed by the insurance companies throughout the state. The telecommunications tax collection program is another big part where we collect those business licenses from those telecommunication companies in South Carolina. One of the other programs that we instituted a number of years ago was the set-off debt collection program. A lot of cities run into issues where you have a client or a citizen that leaves town without paying their utility bills, or if you're involved in a demolition project and you've spent $5,000 or $6,000 and cannot recoup that. The set-off debt collection program is a program that we work with the Department of Revenue. You submit to the association, I think it's usually in August or September, outstanding debts. We turn it into the Department of Revenue for like a $25 fee on both sides. The Department of Revenue will withhold any contributions or any refunds that those people might be entitled to from their tax return. So we always encourage people to take part in this. It's an excellent way to try and recoup delinquent debts. Whether or not you use it year in and year out, at least sign up for it, because it is a great way to collect some of those outstanding debts. We have two insurance programs that we operate. We actually used to operate and maintain a health insurance program, but it became so competitive, and we lost a number of customers, a number of clients, which represented a number of lives, and we could not continue to be competitive. So in the last year and a half, we've done away with the health insurance, but we still maintain what we call our SMRF program, which is the Municipal Insurance and Risk Financing Fund. This is our property and casualty insurance, which provides tort liability, public officials liability, law enforcement liability. The other program is our workers' comp, which is called the SMIT, which is the Municipal Insurance Trust Fund. This is workers' compensation for employees. The other good part about this program is that we offer grants for protective gear, like body armor, safety equipment for public works employees. We also offer 10 hours of labor attorney assistance through our labor hotline. So if you're concerned about some type of issue that you're considering with an employee, we would certainly advise you to use your 10 hours with the labor attorney before you get into a situation that might fly back into the face of the town. We also assist with cable franchise agreements. Oftentimes you're looking at maybe increasing or changing a cable franchise, but we partner with what is called local government services company, who helps with technical assistance with cable franchise management, looking at all the particulars that's outlined in those franchise agreements. The other thing that we have, which has come out over the last 5 years, I guess, is the Orbit, South Carolina Orbit, which is the South Carolina Other Retirement Benefits Employer Trust. This comes about from the GASB 45. This is basically pre-funding retirement benefits to be compliant with those regulations, and it allows the cities that are involved to pool their resources to reduce administrative and investment related expenses. So that has proven to be a popular program as well. Finally, we partner with VC3 for technology services. Many of you have taken part of that. I think certainly y'all were involved with some disaster recovery and backups, data systems. We have website design, technology assistance, and network design. But just wanted to kind of give y'all an opportunity to understand what we're all about. We have a lot going on a day-to-day basis. Certainly while the General Assembly is in session, we're awfully busy because we have our lobbyists on the ground in Columbia trying to find out what's going on. As I always tell, anytime that you have any new elected official, even just one, it truly changes the dynamics of the council as a whole. And what I always tell folks is, please embrace your new council members. Recognize that everybody comes to the table with something unique and different. You all have different backgrounds and experiences and goals and ideals, and we hope that as you consider issues, you'll take that into consideration, because oftentimes the new guy on the block might say something that you haven't really given it much thought about because you haven't looked at it in that way. So when it comes to embracing and welcoming the new council members, certainly take that into consideration. But if there's any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer them. But really, Linda just wanted me to kind of give you an overview of our group, and anything that we can do to help, that's what we're there for.
You're an excellent resource. We use you frequently on specific issues, whether they be legislative or not. It's really been quite a help to, I know, staff and to those of us on council to know that we're not alone, that we can find out how others have conquered the same problems that we're facing.
And we certainly appreciate your leadership on the board and all.
We had, Chief, like this, we had a session last week, in fact, it's on here, public safety and criminal prevention. It was demonstrated to us, we put it as a priority for the municipal association. We had a session that I actually moderated it, talking about gangs in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah,
and
Sheriff
how
Net.
you identify them, with how they migrate, things of that nature. And it was eye-opening. We had, I think we had 45 mayors there, and all of them had their mouth open by the time they left. Richland County did the presentation as far as what they've experienced, and the random shootings, all this other stuff. And it's all gang-related, and
Right,
it's
scary.
there whether we know it or not. And we're not immune to it out here on the island. So it's good information.
Well, anything we can do to help, just feel free to call us.
Any other questions? Nothing? Good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Bill. Enjoy your ride home. If you're going home, I didn't even ask. All right, thanks. All right, next item on our agenda, we go into executive session to hear potential claims relating to South Carolina Freedom of Information Act and ethic laws. This will be conducted by Francis Cantwell and our esteemed attorney to try and inform us of what's going on and what we can expect. So, can I have a motion to go in executive session?
moved.
Second.
Motion is seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We'll go into executive session.
I think I was a king.